I hate to say it, but it's precious to artists who
Yeah.
write, right? And it's
Yeah.
like putting yourself out there, and it's like, oh my God. And it's like, at least with these three, they're not gonna like, you know, blow me out of the water with this. They're not gonna like hurt me. They're gonna be like, I hear you, and you know, this
Yeah.
is where I think it's really solid. And this is where, okay, I understand what you're saying. So let's just hold that one off.
Ooh, welcome everybody to Casting for Two, the podcast, as always hosted by me, Chris. Welcome, welcome, welcome everybody to episode number 600 and oh no, not 600, 561 of the podcast. Wow. I guess I'm ready for 600. But I guess I'm gonna chill in 561 for right now. I hope you all are doing well. Castingfor2.com is the perfect place if you want to go to buy some swag. Follow me on all the social media accounts, and also see where this podcast is available on what service, aka pretty much all of them. Castingfor2.com is the place to be, and you're welcome. I need to talk about my guest. My guest today is such a lovely individual. Kofy Brown from the band Skip the Needle is here right now, and they have a new EP coming out, Wake Up, Wake Up, Wake Up, available March 7th. And that's also March 6th is when a small like West Coast tour starts. So I urge anybody listen to this episode and then go watch the shows if you're around, or even if you're not, fly out there. Maybe not fly, drive over there. But yeah, Kofy was just such a phenomenal person to chat with, and I'm so glad this chat exists, and I'm sharing it to you all right now. So everybody sit back, relax, and Kofy, take it away. But how are you doing today?
You know, I'm good, man. I'm blessed. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I get to do art. I get to like work with people I love
Mm-hmm.
and comment on what's going on right
Mm-hmm.
now.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, there's not much going on right now, though, right? Like everything is great if you live under a rock, right?
There it is. That's right. Ignorance is bliss.
No,
How you feel?
you know, I think it's a magical thing when, not, moving the things that are going on in the world aside, but, being able to do what you like with people that you like, that's just so magical when the stars align like that.
Yeah, right on. So I feel you.
Yeah. And, so this is a pretty loose show. Uh, but I'm always very curious. You mentioned art, and I'm just kind of curious. When did you get bit by the art bug? What was it, like the music bug that got you first, or like what was it in that sense?
Yeah, man. It was music for
Mm.
sure. I I was part of what we called a family band.
Mm.
And so whatever cousin was born into the family band.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was just, my mom and her siblings used to sing.
Uh,
And I grew up just, hearing music from day one. And for me, it stuck. It's
uh,
like I was playing my grandmother's little, I think it's a toy organ, and making up songs, begging my mother for a piano. And now she finally got me a piano. And then I just started writing songs. And, like I said, that little family band was going. We were like modeling ourselves after the Jackson Five. And,
yeah.
it just never stopped. And
Mm-hmm.
I was in high school and, and I'd never not done music.
Awesome.
So I'm fortunate, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, like some people have to go like, what do I want to do? And I never had that. I always knew, oh, I'm gonna be a musician. I'm just gonna. Yeah. So I really do feel fortunate around that.
I love that. And I come from a family of musicians, kind of. It was
Mm,
just something that we all did in high school. My parents, my dad, my sister, and then of course it came to me, like, and I was always just like, I guess I should do this because that's what everybody in my family did.
right.
But since I was the baby of the family, I lost that ability of family members joining in with me. So it was just kind of, it's no fun by yourself. Uh, and that's why I have this issue. When I was learning to play the drums, my mom was just like, "Just play them." I'm like, "But I need people. It's fun to jam. It's fun to jam with people. It's just, it's no fun. Just like, okay, I'll play by myself. Okay, I'm done.
Especially drums, right?
Yeah." But yeah, and so yeah, family band. Oh my gosh, that sounds wonderful. Never, I bet never a dull moment.
No, man. It was just crazy and it was loud. And, when you're young, it starts off as not a real band.
Mm,
It's like broomsticks and brushes
yeah.
and drums, whatever's laying around the house. And then later on, it's like, okay, you get the little Casio keyboard, you get the piano, you get the guitar, the actual,
Yeah.
and then you actually start playing real instruments. And yeah, I mean, it was like, be quiet. Oh, what are you doing? That sounds good. Oh, be quiet. Oh, you got some talent. Oh, it was constant, man. It was constant. So,
Did you ever have your like wherever you're living, like your neighbors tell you to be like, "Hey, stop that racket."
oh, please. All the time. This is the thing though. It was like, be quiet because it's too late.
Yeah.
But then band play our backyard picnic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
We were actually pretty good. And I remember just this one little story, man. We were rehearsing in our basement, and I grew up in the D.C. area. We were living in Montgomery County, Silver Spring, Maryland, and we busted. I mean, like, you know how a patio door? We had a
Mm.
patio door in the kitchen, and we're in the basement, and my bass player had this huge, like, I don't know, Ampeg stack, and he's all showing off, and, and we're jamming, and we like doing some, I don't know, Minneapolis sound, doing go-go, whatever,
Yeah.
he's like, we're just jamming, and he's like hitting those bass notes, and all of a sudden you hear this, and my mother was like, "Shut up! What is happening?" She comes down. Entire, the entire patio door is shattered. I mean, it's
Whoa.
a million little pieces. It hadn't fallen out yet, but
Uh,
and I had never. We were like, I was probably 14, maybe. It was like, what is this? So that's how loud it was, man. I mean, it was just, it was intense. And
yeah.
now that I think about it, but it was just, us doing what we were doing. We weren't getting in trouble, right? We were like,
Right.
yeah. So it was constructive, but it was also, it was loud, and it was, I'm sure, an annoyance, and had to fix that patio door. It was just,
Yeah,
it was
but
good.
I feel like that's bragging rights right there. As
That
when,
is
yeah, it's like, look, I shattered a patio door. Okay, what have you done with your life?
exactly. That's like, the opera singers breaking the glass.
Yeah, yeah. That's
What's that?
yeah, that's a true testament. It's like drummers have breaking a drumstick during a show, and then
Yeah.
yeah, the band breaks glass. So you know what, I'm with you. I'm sure it was annoying to replace it, but still, I'm with you.
Right on, right on. All good in the end.
Oh, and so you're talking about doing other facets of art. What else do you do?
Well, me personally, I
Mm,
write a lot. So I just wrote this little book. It's called The Little Book of Joy.
mm,
I wrote it last year. It was kind of like, I write all the time, but I was just had to get this thing out. And then I was like, oh shoot, should I release it? And I'm on this little kick of like not hoarding creativity.
yeah.
I'm just trying to get everything out. And so I released a little limited edition. I sold out, and it's expensive to self-publish. And I didn't want to go the Amazon
Mm,
route because I've been on Amazon for a minute before the election.
Uh-huh.
But this is right around, after the election, and everybody's feeling all weary, and they call me the joy spreader anyway, because again, I'm blessed
Uh-huh.
personally, and I think that's my little mission in life is to, like, if you got a light inside of you, you got to shine it, you got to
Yeah.
spread it. And so that's part of, like, who I am as a person. And so I put this little book out, man, and it's just kind of flying on its own, doing well. And then, yeah, I acted a little bit. I was in this play, this musical called Weightless,
Uh-huh.
and I was fortunate enough the play got picked up in New York at the WP Theater, off Broadway, and we did it for a run in 22.
Uh-huh.
We did it in 21 for like a little TV series at Cal Shakes, and
Uh-huh.
then it got picked up in 22. We went to New York, so a little acting.
Okay.
So I'm in the arts, man. That's just my life path, and everything to me is funded and fueled by creativity,
Uh-huh.
and so that's just how I swear, man, I'm knocking on wood. I'm fortunate to be able to live a life as an art maker and a creative, and in these, like, crazy times,
Yeah.
just put out music that's meaningful and reflects what's happening, and being able to collaborate with good people. And yeah, man. Also, so yeah, that's what I've been up to,
I
artistic.
yeah, I love that. And I love um how look, it's all art, but it's all still very different facets of it. And I love the fact that you've been able to swim in those different kind of pools.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, opening it up yourself to that too, right? It's like I've been doing music all my life,
Mm-hmm.
but then I remember journaling. I journal, and I said, I think I had this prompt, like, what's something that you'd like to do that nobody knows about, right? And I said, secretly, I think I could act. I
Mm-hmm.
think I could do that. And then the act of just writing that down, writing the words down, like making it out loud, right? I get this uninvited crazy invitation to, like, be in this play.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this real? And then I started talking to friends about it. And they're like, oh, no, 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 no. In the Bay Area, that's a great play. And it's about these two sisters. And I had never even heard of it. And I never acted. And it's like, to go all the way to New York to do this off Broadway play, to, rehearse for months. And I was like, am I going to even be able to remember my lines? I was like, my role, dude, my role, I played the God,
Mm.
and the God is like the narrator, like from up high, looking
Yeah.
at these mortals, these humans, and how they get themselves into all of these conflicts. And this particular God is very sort of, they want to be served and they want to be loved and adorned, and then the God actually ends up learning something about humanity and sacrifice from these two sisters. It's a beautiful play. You can check it out. It's called Weightless. And
Okay.
I had never done that before. And it, to me, it's like the power of being open.
Mm.
And you talked about magic, right? Like being open enough to, like, say the words out loud, believing in magic, and then magical things happen.
Yeah.
And I believe that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's it's just kind of uh I don't know. I feel like it's like going with the flow, but also um, never taking an opportunity for granted. That's kind of what I'm kind of picking up here.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, being open without, like, defining the expectations, or
Yeah.
like, this is how it's got to be.
Right.
It's like that opportunity could have been at a local community theater around the corner here in Oakland, right? But it happened to just be in New York.
Hmm.
That's like with the band Skip the Needle. We were all just friends fronting our own band. I got my band, the Kofy Brown Band, Shelly Dolly Extet, Vicky Randall on the late night show, touring with Mavis Staples, doing her thing,
Yeah.
Katie Cash doing, Katie Cash Band, Dola Rada, all of this. And we're friends. And, I was like, well, I don't play drums, but I want to play some drums in this band. And because it was just jamming, like what you
Yeah.
said. I got a drum kit now, and I want to jam with my friends.
Hmm.
And people were just like, "You guys sound good. You should play out." And when we started playing, it was KVSK, our initials, Katie, Vicky, Shelly, Coffee.
Hmm.
We were just having fun. Meanwhile, having our own shows. And it's to your point. It's like, not taking things for granted. And now, like 12 years later, we're still doing it. We're skip the needle, and people like our music, and we kind of laugh at it, and we're like, all right, cool. You- it's yeah, man. I think if you live enough life, you do start to really appreciate like how lucky you when you find yourself in good circumstances. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's fortune.
Yeah.
That's like don't take that for granted.
Yeah. It's I think that's an important lesson to learn. It's just my brain goes to like it's too bad that we're not born with that just
Yeah,
automatically because maybe that would kind of shape the way we look at life even growing up, like
yeah,
hang out with our grandparents more or
yeah,
like simple not simple things but things like that just have a
yeah,
conversation with a relative. I always think about, man, if only, and I was talking to my girlfriend the other night about it. I was like, I wish I talked to my grandpa more when he was
yeah.
alive. And I'm just like, why did I have to learn that now?
Yeah, because they're like a wealth of knowledge, right? And
Yes, yes,
information. And it's like you don't know it until you're like at an older age. And then by the time you're old, they may not be around.
mm-hmm.
And it's like I can remember, talking to him. Like I was just telling my partner, my grandmother was funny. She was kind of kooky, right? And I said, I think I'm like her. She used
Yeah.
to decorate the house with like the tops of like like soda can
Mm,
plastic. Like you get a 6 pack of Pepsi or even beer or whatever. And
yeah,
back in the day, it used to be all plastic, those little 6 up plastic things.
yeah.
She made like curtains out of that. And I'm like, my grandmama, she kooky, man. But now I get it. She's like, I'm just doing art. I think it's cute. I think I like it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And it's like, I wish I really could have probed her on that. Like, like, what about this do you find so fascinating? So like beautiful? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, no. It's probably more that creativity that's going on in the family.
Yeah,
Just like, oh,
I think
I can turn this into something.
yeah. I think you're right. I think it's like, oh, this is a waste. This
Yeah,
is actually beauty,
yeah.
and let me do something with it.
Single use plastic, not on my hand, and then
That's
just
right. Word. She's an environmentalist before she even knew.
exactly. Well, and so you mentioned it, skip the needle,
Yeah.
and you all have an EP coming out.
Yeah. Wake
I
up, wake up, wake
wake
up.
up like that. Oh my gosh, people need to wake
Right?
up.
I'm saying.
And I'm just curious. I'm curious about the process of songwriting and just how all it well goes, which is a horrible sentence I just uttered. But I'm curious. Off the EP, was there one song that took a little bit more time to figure out whether the music or the lyrics or just something wasn't working?
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, man. I mean, yeah. So we got really again lucky with this particular EP, which was a grant. It started as a grant by WAM,
Mm,
Women's Audio Music,
mm-hmm,
Women's Audio Mission,
mm-hmm,
and they're like the only kind of organization that puts women in places like engineering jobs
mm,
and recording engineers. And so we got this grant, and they were like, okay, produce some music, and the final product is we're gonna help put it out.
mm-hmm,
We were like, all right, word. And so we went into the studio, and we started with 8 songs, I think.
mm-hmm,
So to that point, we're recording, and this was done right on the heels of our other release, the Octavia album.
mm-hmm.
And so we were in the studio writing, and 4 of the songs got like not like they weren't a part of this record
Uh-huh.
because one that I specifically wrote lyrically and we did the music, it wasn't moving me like I
Mm-hmm.
felt it in my head, and I liked the lyrics, but the combination just wasn't working.
Mm-hmm.
And so the thing about this band is that we really, I think we really focus on the art and the like appreciation for the craft of song.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we can really kind of help each other and work out like they were like, well, we like the song Coffee. I said, yeah, but it's not doing the thing that I wanted it to do.
Right.
And they understand that. And they were like, well, if it's not doing what you needed to do, let's just pause
Mm-hmm.
and let's not push it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's so important because sometimes in art, you just feel like you gotta put a record out and you gotta put these 8 songs on, right?
Right.
And we were like, well, let's just put the songs that we really believe are done, that we all feel good about, and that can tell a story, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Vicky wrote incredible music that got left off of this record for I can't even remember the reason why at this point. One's called Burn It Down,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll do it on the tour.
Yeah.
And it's such a great record, and didn't it didn't hit this EP.
Mm-hmm.
So to your point, it's a creative process, and when you have 4 different perspectives and taste and respect for each other, you get in and you release what makes sense at the time. Not to say we won't come back to those songs, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
this is what ended up on this EP. So it is a process, my friend. I mean, it's we could go days talking about that, but I'm going to end it right there because it's just a lot. And when you just have people who respect each other, you can say what you really believe, and people take it with that intent. It's not to it's it's for the craft and the art of the song, and it's like, does it make sense?
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
just move from that space.
So I mean, it's I know you've said that you all have been playing with each other for a bit
Yeah,
now, but I mean, it's nice that no matter what, it's like there's still that you said a sense of respect, just because like, hey, we all have different backgrounds. I feel like that makes for a stronger soup. But right now
yeah,
this soup's not ready. We gotta leave it in the pot a little bit longer, and then we'll come back to it. I just love that there's that vulnerability on your part to be like, I don't know. It's
yeah,
it's not it right now.
yeah. And you hit the word, man. It's vulnerability,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's really it's I hate to say it, but it's precious to artists who
yeah,
write, right? And it's
yeah.
like putting yourself out there. And it's like, oh my God. And it's like, at least with these 3, they're not gonna like, you know, blow me out of the water with this. They're not gonna like hurt me. They're gonna be like, I hear you, and you know, this
Yeah.
is where I think it's really solid. And this is where, okay, I understand what you're saying. So let's just hold that one off. And you still got uh a pot, I mean, a kitchen full of recipes and
Yeah.
food that you just haven't finished cooking.
Yeah, yeah. Look.
Yeah,
We
to
gotta
continue.
let's get to the sides, okay? Let's make the
Yeah,
sides
yeah,
first.
there you
We'll
go,
we'll get
right?
that going.
Get that sweet potatoes. Get those sweet
Yes.
potatoes in there.
Yes.
Get the macaroni. The crust is just right. I don't know. That turkey's taking long, but let's eat. Shoot, let's not stop that from eating. Stop us from eating. Shoot. That's word. That is word, man.
Well,
It's a trip though. Yeah.
no, I love that, and yeah, it's I I, I do consider myself a somewhat musical person. Again, being with it for so long, but I do like the acting part, which is of like the film part, which is something that I got into. But there's always this
Cool.
sense of vulnerability that is I don't know if it's not talked about enough. I haven't taken an
Mm.
acting class, so I can't really say that. But there's in this day, I feel like so many people are guarded,
Yeah,
and with their, I know we've touched upon it a little bit, but
yeah,
with everything that's going on in the world, it's kind of hard not to be a little guarded in the sense of, man, please, I don't want to just reveal myself or anything like that, but
yeah.
still, I think it's pretty cool. Um, when and again, I know I said this already, but it's cool that you have a group that it's like, yeah, Les, look, you put your heart and soul into something, and we're not gonna, tear you down. But I just love that. Um, and
Yeah.
I'm just kind of wondering, kind of the flip side of that question, was there a
Mhm.
song that was just came together a bit easier than the rest, that just kind of like, oh, this fell into place very easily or very quickly?
Yeah, I can tell you that straight up. It was like, "Hey, Lady DJ."
Oh,
That's just a fun song, right?
yeah,
That's a jam.
yeah.
That's a jam. And we felt like, okay, the EP's called Wake Up, Wake Up, Wake Up, right?
Hmm.
And that's a nod to a song written by Katie Cash called Wake Up. And it incorporates just a lot of angst and what's going on and inner angst. And but Hey Lady DJ, and it's the last song on the cut because it's like our name, Skip the Needle. Skip
Hmm.
the Needle, you'll find a different track if you just skip the needle, right? It's a different sound, different vibe. And so that track was just a jam. And I don't know, somebody, Shelly just started going, "Hey, lady DJ, can you?" And it's like a nod to the DJ who like lifts your spirit. Last night the DJ saved my life.
Yeah,
And it's like that just came together. It was upbeat. It was fun. Immediately, we all just laughed and was like, "That's word." And then that song just came together. We wrote it. We liked it. We had Shelly's kid is on it. Friends came into the studio and clapped on it, and we just had a good time with it because it fell into place, like what you were
yeah,
talking about. And it was easy. And we felt like that embodied a spirit that we also want to put out there and
yeah,
promote and share, you know, especially when we do our live gigs.
yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I love that. Sometimes, and again, I feel like the point of the whole, if there's one takeaway from this episode, it's going to be joy.
Yeah.
You know what?
Word.
Everybody just needs something joyous. Just for joy's sake.
Yeah,
Uh,
because I mean, for real though, it's like because that will help you carry on,
yeah,
man. You know what I mean? And it's all around us.
yeah,
It's like I mean, I have a dog, and the dog is goofy as hell, right? And so the dog sparks joy. He just does everything. He's on his back. I mean, the birds, flowers, silly things. And if we don't acknowledge that, then our world just becomes gray,
hmm,
right? And I
yep,
look like joy is like it's that sprinkling of sunshine. It's like a cloudy day, and then when the clouds part and they give you like these sun rays,
hmm,
it's like that's the reason to live. That's
yep,
like why we work all hard is to enjoy some love and joy and goodness.
yeah,
So we cannot forget about that. And people are anxious, man. Oh my God.
yeah,
It you can cut it. You can cut it with a knife. And then
man.
somebody come dancing, like, right? And that person is always like, that's what's up, my friend.
Yep.
Cause, you know, I'm just saying, Chris.
Yeah, man. I wish anxiety was a currency. Then we
Oh,
so many things would be solved.
dude,
Um.
we'd be rich.
Oh my gosh, so rich.
and and so dead. I
Yeah,
mean, you know
that
what I'm
too.
saying?
Yeah.
You would be rich like for a day or two, and then you collapse under the weight of the stress and anxiety.
Yep.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
I mean, so anyway,
Well, and so for the people at home who like to
yeah,
pick up the EP when it's available,
yeah,
come catch a show when you guys go on tour, or
yeah.
just be in the know, follow you online. Where can they do all that?
All right, perfect. Well, I guess the first place is skiptheneedle.com, and our all of our music is sold on Bandcamp.
Mm.
And we specifically big up Bandcamp because they give the larger share to the artist.
Yeah.
You know, they're not thieving and thugging like Spotify and all those cats. Even
Yeah.
though you can find our music on that, that's not how we, get paid. So skiptheneedle.com, Bandcamp, skiptheneedle.com, and you can see us live. We got this little tour coming up, man. So we're Oakland, California based band. And our tour is from March 6th to the 15th. It starts in Bellingham, Washington at Mount Baker Theater.
Hmm.
That's on the 6th. Can I give all the dates, man?
Oh yeah, go right ahead.
All
Go
right,
right ahead.
perfect. All right. March 7th in Seattle at the Rabbit Box. Saturday the 8th. This is all March. In Portland at the Alberta Abbey. Come on out, Portland folk.
Hmm.
Sunday at Baker City, Oregon. That's a smaller town at the Churchill School of Art and Music. And then for Greater Bay Area folks, that's March 13th at Moe's Alley in Santa Cruz. Come on out. And then third, March 15th at the Freight and Salvage in Berkeley. That's our home base. So people come on out and support us. And this new record is, we love it. It's lovely. The artwork, Jen, what's Jen's last name? The artwork is beautiful. She did a great job. I'm
Hmm.
just big up in, again, Women's Audio Mission, Daniel Goldsmith, who was our engineer. And then I'm just going to give a shout out to, because I'm the only one from the band that's here with you, Chris.
Hmm.
But my bandmates, Katie Cash, guitar, Shelly Doty, guitar, Vicky Randall, bass. My name is Kofy Brown. And I really appreciate you, having me, having us, and just chit-chatting a little bit about some joy and art, right?
Yeah, yeah, no, and it's happy to do it. Absolutely happy to do it. The older that I get, the more and more I take, like I appreciate and take value from creativity. I'm not saying that, hey, if you're not a creative person, get out of my way. But I'm just saying that, oh my God, I love when people are creative and doing the thing that they were meant to do. So that's why
Right?
I'm always
Yeah.
happy to talk to and promote. And you know what? Selfishly, I'm like, maybe I can take some of their creativity and just like apply it to me. And then, you know,
Yeah.
I, you know,
That's what we call inspiration, right?
yeah, yeah. You know what? That is
Yeah.
a nicer way of saying it instead of stealing creativity.
Nah, not stealing it. I mean, hey, I don't know your motives, my friend, but look, you see me trying to wrap it in something lovely, right? I'm like, get inspired.
Yeah, I love that. I
Take it
love that.
all. It should be free. That's how I look at it. Creativity, take it, man. Ain't costing a word.
There we go. There we go. Well, Coffee, thank you so much for chatting with me. Anytime you want to come back on, just say the word, and I truly hope that the tour goes well. I hope you have just like lovely stories and all that stuff.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the time and casting for two and learning about the podcast and you having us, man. So thank you.
Of
Thank you right
course,
back.
of course, of
Yeah.
course. But I'll let you go. You have a wonderful rest of your day and keep staying safe and healthy. All right.
All right. You do the same, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
All right. Bye bye.